Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My heartfelt pranams to Dr. Parthasarathy. I don't know whether to call this as an experience, but I just want to still say that, it is also like an experience, but I would just like to place on record my heartfelt thanks to Jagadish and Pushpa for being that first spark, for igniting that first spark, and for that first resolve to start the Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra. Now, although we've never discussed this, I was probably overseas when Dr. Parthasarathy came in 2008, and I even missed, I didn't attend this particular lecture in Rajendran's house. We were in the US then, and so I know knowledge about this visit. And we never discussed, Jagadish and I never discussed this, but somehow I knew in my mind that when Jagadish took this resolve, he didn't talk to the 11 families to ask whether it's possible to get together and do this chakra. And I never asked him this question even till now. It just came in my mind that this is how he would have first made the resolve that we'll do it. And then let's worry about the 11 families. And and so, like Dr. Parthasarathy just told us yesterday about the Dvaita Vichara, the resolve, the Jivatma's resolve and the Paramatma's Anugraha together is what causes success. So this is a living proof, and we've seen it for the last 3 years, that you have to make the resolve and then you need the Anugraha of the Paramatma. And probably the Advaita Vichara in that is that even to make that resolve, you need that Anugraha. And the Lord, I think, has picked Jagadish in this case. He's picked he and Pushpa as the people to make this resolve. And what I would like to thank the Lord is that He has picked us and put us in close proximity to them, which allowed us the opportunity to participate in the chakra. And so I'm ever grateful to both Pushpa and Jagadish for this. I really wanted to place this on record. Not only on my behalf, I'm sure it's on behalf of all of the families who have taken part in the chakra. The other profound experience since the start of the chakra is, of course, the wedding of Gautam and Ujjwala. And what I would really like to, what comes to my mind, or why I'd like to thank the Lord Vishnu, is that He has brought into a family such a loving, lovable, accomplished Indian girl with Indian values, that like even what I think that such a divine vara, you can say, couldn't have come out of my small punya bandara of doing this chakra. I think there has to be a reservoir of punya of probably my parents or people like my well-wishers who have just unconditional love for me and our family. And I think that is what has really given us such a wonderful girl in our family. And I think that's to me the most striking vara that I've got from this Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra. And then the other experience is really of my mother. In 2008, December, she came almost very close to death, and I happened to be in Bangalore then. And she came out of the clutches of death miraculously. But she knew ever since that moment that she was living on borrowed time. And the entire 2009, the period of 2009, it was lingering in her mind that she's living on borrowed time. And in April, when I mentioned to her, when Gautam and Ujjwala decided to come into wedlock and decide to get married, when I told my mother, the first thing she said is, and I told her also, then we decided, soon after they decided to engage, they also decided that they get married only in December or January, about 7-8 months later. So I told her that, look, they're getting engaged, but they're not getting married now, they're getting married about 7 or 8 months later in Bangalore, sometime in January, February. She became very restless. And she said, ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಮಾಚಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಕಾಯ್ತೀಯ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬದುಕ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಭರೋಸೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಇರ್ತೀನೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ. ಅಂಡ್ ಶಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ August Pushpa and Jagadish are going to India and Lakshmi is also going and Ujjwala is also going. She said, ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿರೋದು ನೀನು ಗೌತಮ್, ನೀವಿಬ್ರು ಬಂದ್ರಿ, ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡಿ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಯಾರು ನಿಂತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಛತ್ರ ಗಿತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮದುವೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಡೆಸ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ. And she kept, and every time we speak to her every week, like, almost all the children speak to her, not just me. All the children call her every week, and every time I used to pick up the phone, she say, "Banbidu Jagannath, Gautam karkon banbidu, madve ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡು August ಅಲ್ಲಿ." So somehow, what I think is, it's not that she wanted to be a part of the wedding. What was, I think, supreme in her mind and heart was that she should not come in the way of this wedding. Her death should not come in the way of this wedding in any form. And that was her. And every time, because even when Shamla and others used to tell, she said, "Illappa, Gautam madhuve agbidli, aamele nodkolona." So, and she would never step out of the house because she was so scared that if something happens to her, this will affect the wedding. So that's why and I remember we went to Devaran Durga, that is our Mane God. She has never missed any trip to Devaran Durga in her life. Anyone in the family going to Devaran Durga, she has gone with them. And for the wedding, we decided to go there to do the Kalyanotsava. But she had such a firm resolve. She said, "Illa, na baradilla. Neevella hogi ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ." Because that was that ultimate thing is that she must not, nothing should happen. She should not come in the way of the wedding. Her death should not come in the way of this wedding. So that still is so striking in me, in my mind. And as you all know, she participated in the wedding. And she was an integral part of the wedding. She really wholeheartedly blessed her grandchildren, Gautam and Ujjwala, and at the end of that, she knew that she had achieved, and this went off so well, and she sort of felt extremely, supremely satisfied and supremely at peace when this happened. And it so happened that she passed away even before we could have the reception in Sydney. It was just about a month later that she passed away. But this certainly is very strong and is a very impressionable thing in my mind. Now, I can keep going on and on, but I'll just probably just narrate just one little other vara that I've received. This is on my professional side. As you all know, I'll be relocating to China for a few years, and this actually happened because for the last 4-5 years, I've just been watching the market and the growth that's happening in Asia. And I was always feeling that how nice it would be if I could be a part of this. And here I could see that the market every year is just shrinking and shrinking, and over there I can see that it's just going the other way. It's exploding actually. And I just expressed to our MD that because over the years, there's a lot of experience I've built. I said, look, I would like to really contribute and work in this region. And my intention really was that I should be based in Australia and then travel and support the area. But so happened around the same time there was a change in structure and there was a new vice president for Asia Pacific. And when he came to know about this, he said, "No, I think I'd rather have you in Asia rather than trying to work in Australia and then travel. We really want you to work in Asia itself." And that's how he made the proposal. But I was not really prepared for that. So they went out of the way. They've given me an expatriate status where I'll still be employed by the Australian organization. And because it's a very expensive thing, because they have to support the person in both areas. But I think this is the pure result of the Chakra, that everything has just worked in place where there was no reason for me to say, "No, I want to refuse this assignment." So they created such conditions with so much, you see love in your family, but I can feel that love from the employer. And if that happens, you really can't. It's like almost telling no to your family. And so I said, "No, okay, I'll make that move. I'll make the thing," and they're taking care of me very well in this shift. So I'll be able to come back to Australia for taking part in some of the important events. And one of the primary sankalpas is that I should take part in the Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra every year, and also the Aralumallige Aradhane. So that's what way to nange. I'm saying.
Mr. Jagannath happens to be my close relative, and his mother, she was very fond of me. She has blessed me. And last two occasions, last time when I came here, I was with Lakshmi Prasad, and earlier to that I was with Mr. Jagannath. And my Kuladevata is also the Lakshmi Swami of Devara and Durga, and their Kuladevata is also that. And when the Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra was actually conducted in Sydney, Australia, Jagadish and Pushpa, they started and they initiated it, but the puja part of it, the archana part of it, and the celebration part of it, it was looked after by Jagannath. He performed the puja part of that Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra so meticulously, with so much of sincerity and devotion. I thank him, and I request Lakshmi also to come forward with one or two experiences.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. The saints and sages from centuries have always glorified the name of the Lord, and chanting of the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram has been one of the ways which we could really experience the same. For 3 years we have been doing this Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra. Every year the experience has been different, and each one of us have experienced the presence of the Divine in our own different ways, which is very difficult to put into words. This year also we performed the Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra, and we could see what was happening with everybody, like the festive atmosphere, the peace and the strength which you could feel among all the people who were participating, the love and the unity among the members. All this was very strongly felt, and this definitely is a manifestation of the Divine. So this Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra, or the chanting, which is a Japa Yajna, not only purifies our subconscious, but it also brings a very sharp awareness of the presence of the Divine in all aspects of our life. What greater treasure or what greater blessing can a sadhaka ask from life than that you can feel the presence of the Lord at all times? And I'm sure everybody felt the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.